Hi, hello, and welcome to the channel. I'm Lady Celine, and we are getting back into the Chapter 2 trial for Danganronpa Another. We last left off accusing Akane, the Akane Taira, this girl right here on the screen, because Kizuna's dying message said maid in katakana. My god, I have not stopped thinking about this trial the last 24 hours, and I still can't put all of the pieces together, but right now I have two main theories. One, I guess I'll start out because both theories kind of work the same way in that I don't think Akane Taira is the actual killer. You know, I feel like it's too early in the trial to, like, we've been blaming her since the beginning, and I find it weird that we haven't really cast any suspicions on anyone else, which makes me think that even though she's pretty likely and pretty suspicious in this situation, I don't think she actually killed Kizuna. Here's what I think. I think then one of two things. One is that Taira did attack Kizuna, maybe she did the stomach wound and ran away. So then while Kizuna was bleeding out, she wrote maid in her blood. And then someone else came in and finished her off. I think that's what it's going to be. It'll be like a twist where maybe Akane thinks she's the killer, but someone came in and finished her off, because that's the kind of twist this game would have. Like I said, I just don't believe that it's entirely Akane Taira. But my other theory is that it was entirely someone else. They got injured and either wrote in their own or Kizuna's blood. They wrote Maida to throw suspicion off of them and get people to look at Akane instead. I don't know if either of those is more likely, but I'm excited to get back in. Taira, among us, the word maid refers to, or rather, I can't think of anyone but you. Akane. That's...
It's really her! You killed Tamori? Now wait a minute. There must be a misunderstanding. I mean something like this. This is too much.
Please, wait a minute, everyone. I'm not. I have nothing. I didn't do anything. The dying message was written by a person. The Lord does not lie. As long as the dying message refers to the word maid, it has already been revealed. I mean, even then, I'm still thinking the katakana is a little bit of a stretch, but I'm gonna go with it for now. Was it a lie at the beginning of the trial to cover up her crime? No! Taira, tell me with your own words. Are you really the culprit?
Me? I'm not the killer!
Akane! Why am I the culprit? The dying message may say the word maid, but there's a big X next to it. You guys have only interpreted the maid and didn't interpret the X after it. That X could literally be an X. Doesn't that mean negative? In other words, it means not the maid, so I'm not the culprit. Okay, that's an even bigger stretch, babes. I don't know yet if what Taira said is true, but certainly, as she said, we haven't fully decoded the dying message yet. Okay, the X at the end.
Well, if you simply look at it, it really looks like it says, not the maid, but...
If the dying message means not the maid, as Taira says, I would rather be more suspicious of Taira. That's true. Definitely not the maid, you guys. Wink, wink.
Why?
Don't you think so? Who is the killer? I don't recall seeing messages saying who is not the killer. Seems illogical to write.
I mean, especially as one is bleeding out.
An innocent one in blood by the own victim. Rather, you would think it's not the maid to take yourself off the suspect list.
Hey, doesn't that mean the culprit themselves wrote the dying message?
That's right. I mean, there's no law saying your dying messages are all true. They can show up in many ways. For example, the killer manipulates the dying message to lead an advantage in the trial.
See, that makes me think that, like, maybe she wrote the word maid, and then someone like Akane maybe put the X there? I don't know.
Yeah, maid X as it is. Meaning, the only one who would benefit from a writing that's not a maid would be the maid herself, Taira.
Whether the interpretation of the dying message is this or that, there's no way to avoid the word maid.
Akane, you really are.
Is Taira really the culprit? Can we conclude the case like this? No, we haven't gone over all the pieces of evidence, so obviously that's not the end. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe it'll all swing back around to her anyway. But what is this feeling? Is it my heart screaming? I feel like all of this, it feels so contradictory. Is it okay to end up with Taira being the culprit?
Can I vote now? It'll be painful to do anymore. It'll just be... I just want this to end quickly.
Wait.
Kurakawa?
Obviously. It's true that Taira's suspicious. Clearly, the way she acted seems questionable. However, there's a problem yet to be solved.
What? An unsolved problem?
As Kurakawa said, it's too soon to end like this. There must be a cause for this unpleasant feeling. Yeah, a secret that hasn't been solved yet. Broken flashlight, third flashlight, Hachino's injury, and the bloody piece of cloth. I think I can expect to just immediately get this wrong, because I don't know where we're going. An unsolved problem, I do not know. What's the problem? The dying message is also over. What else is there? The secret of the window is over. That's true. Tool procurement problem has also been solved, I guess? Wait a minute, is there anything left remaining as Kurakawa says? Only for murder, you're thinking. Okay, so we got to investigate, I think, Hachino's injury cases other than the murder. Ah! Oh, I fucked up.
I clicked the wrong one.
Okay, I think I was on the right track, though. Just based on what Kurakawa was saying. What are we missing? I know. So yeah, I think we are going back to Hachino's injury. It's like the one thing that hasn't been discussed at all. So we do have to at least acknowledge it. cases other than the murder.
そうかもしれないよ。
Yeah, let's agree with that. Yeah, right. That's it. Did you find something, maid? Guys, I think it's still a little bit early to call Taira the culprit.
What? What do you mean? You're the one that said the dying message had the word maid.
I don't know where he's going with this. About that, I still can't conclude for sure. Thanks to Kurakawa, I could think of something actually. Right after the incident, do you all remember Hatsuno's injury?
Of course. Now the trial is coming to an end, and Hatsuno's condition is worsening. Get that in order, okay?
Why was Hatsuno injured? Everyone, think about it. Why did she get hurt? You saw it. She was hurt by a wire trap in the leg. Think about it, though. Who installed the wire trap? When does this come into place?
I mean, the killer must have installed it, right?
That's it. In other words, your opinion is that the suspected killer, meaning Taira, installed the wire trap, right?
Now wait a second. I've never installed anything like that. And why would I aim for Ayame-chan?
That doesn't really mean you can't, though. And, I mean, honestly, it could have been meant for anyone. Hatsuno was just the one to fall for it, I guess. That's a possibility. Wait a minute. Taira installed the wire trap? The wire trap is there. But when was it installed? That's actually a really good question. When was the wire installed? I don't know exactly what's on the wire, but I can guess because I was there when Hatsuno was injured. Hatsuno was trying to grab something at that time. The wire was installed along the way to serve as bait for it. Then the wire must have been installed as soon as the object was placed, and that object wasn't there, at least until that point. Oh gosh, so then when was the wire installed? Before Tamori died, when there was a fire? I'm pretty sure, I mean, I think it still makes sense for it to be before Tamori died. I'm not sure why, but I think what we're getting at here is, yeah, after the investigation started. When the wire was installed, it was probably immediately after starting the investigation. I believe so. Is there a good reason for that opinion? Well, the wire's not visible, so the exact installation time of the wire itself is unknown, but by other elements, it can be inferred. Actually, Hatsuno wasn't just hurt. When she was injured, I know I was right next to them, but Hatsuno was injured by the wire while approaching to find and investigate some kind of object, and she got caught in the trap. Hatsuno, do you remember? Perhaps. Are you referring to the burnt flashlight? Yeah, there was no such thing in the corner when I found the body with everyone in the power room, but it was there after the investigation started.
Ah, in other words, the killer used the flashlight as bait to induce someone to get caught in the wire trap. If so...
They set the flashlight and installed the wire at the same time. Immediately after the investigation began is the approximate time to install it. Yeah, it's right after the start of the investigation, right? The wire was installed shortly after the investigation began? Yamaguchi? It's strange. This is weird. Weird. Is it not weird? Why the yelling all of a sudden? Everyone, open your ears and listen. If Taira's the culprit, it means Taira installed the wire right after the investigation started, yes? But that's impossible! Why, you ask? It's because Taira was with me!
You were with Taira? Surely.
relationship? Can you stop that? Don't put a joke like that at a time like this.
Uh-huh. Does that mean...
I know this exactly because Taira was in the same place I was, and we didn't do anything.
What? How can you say that you didn't do anything so proudly?
No, what I mean is, I was going to do some investigation, but seldom made progress, so ha ha ha. Anyway, that's not what's important. It's Taira's story. I swear to you, Taira has been stuck in one spot since everyone gathered to the power room until the trial announcement came out.
What? Is that for real?
Apart from anything else, there was only one spot that was inefficient, even if you did a little investigation. I want to hear why. Why didn't you mention this, Taira?
No, that... It was shocking that Kazuna-chan died.
Did any of us do that? Even so, everyone participated in the investigation, but that is not a reason.
It doesn't really matter. What's more important than that now? Taira didn't do anything at the time of the investigation, meaning she couldn't install the wire, right?
Yeah, that's why I said it's weird.
Then Taira's not the killer?
I mean, I've been trying to say that from the very beginning.
But what's called a maid? Are we wrong with the interpretation? It's not just that Taira lied. She's still suspect no matter how we continue.
I mean, he's right. But when that happens, you can't explain the wire trap. What's going on? I think my head will be weird if it gets twisted anymore. Can we stop this already? If you want to die, do it. I won't stop you. So does she also believe that it's not Taira? It's definitely weird. Apart from being simply contradictory, logically it's playing itself, separately, as if several incidents seem to be a gathering event. Why? What's missing? It's as if the contradictions don't stop to conclude that Taira's the culprit, but there doesn't seem to be any different direction in the case. What is the truth of this case?
If Taira isn't the culprit, what we've been doing so far, is it all good for nothing?
But if that's the case, then who is the culprit? Who do we vote for?
I can't keep going. We keep hitting dead ends. Even in the midst of this, Hantana's leg injury must be getting worse.
Well, I'll say this. Other than Taira, is there not another suspicious person?
Who is that?
Kurikawa?
What? Why Kurikawa?
Well, I don't understand it because of the dying message and the wire install, but Kurikawa suddenly disappeared during the investigation. Isn't she suspicious to anyone? Looking at it, the broadcast announcing the start of the class trial rang, but we gathered quite late, and Monokuma brought her. Didn't Kinjo mention this? He said that he had main suspects in mind. If Taira, who's been attracting attention as a high-level suspect, is not the culprit, will the other suspect, Kurikawa, who is the next suspicious person? Is the next suspicious person naturally be her? Wait a second, it's true that Kurikawa was late, but what disappeared during the investigation was investigated by Kurikawa's own way. It was Kurikawa's discovery that the kitchen knife was actually disappeared from the kitchen. Okay, so that's what she was checking out the kitchen to make sure that there was indeed a knife gone. But even if they were investigating, still, why arrive late? I was curious from the start of the trial. I want to know the reason for being late, even if you're not the culprit.
Kurakawa, you're not a killer, right?
Please answer us. Don't be uneasy.
I'm not the culprit. Reason for being late, I can't tell you now. After the trial, I'll tell you why.
If it was for a good reason, isn't there no reason to hide it? Why can't you tell us? The more you hide it, the more suspicious it gets.
Oh, I'm sorry, but just trust me. I'm not the killer. Regardless of the reason, isn't it a little too much to say that Kurakawa's the culprit? She doesn't seem to have anything to do with the dying message. It would have been possible to install the wire, however.
No, but there is no other way. This is impossible. She is impossible. It's all possibilities again. Who's the killer then? Even if it's a ghost, is it not impossible? It's not impossible.
Huh, you really are fools without answers. Shouldn't you be aware of this?
What do you mean?
What? That's the truth of the case. I told you, didn't I? I said I wouldn't help you people, but once it's a trial with my life at stake, if there's no answer, I guess I'll have to solve it. So in other words, you are idiots with no answer to the extent that I have to come out like this.
Damn it, Mikaru is destroying us!
Mikaru's attitude is sarcastic, but I think she knows something. Mikaru may give us a clue about the situation that we cannot overcome alone. I mean, she's definitely worth hearing out if she's gonna reveal anything. When you look at the goals for your reasoning, I can see how hard your brains are. To put it simply, you are fools who are trying to solve the same solution without thinking of any other method when no other problem was solved. Thank you for your kind summary description, but what do you know yourself? If the same method doesn't work, you should know.
Ah! I skip it! I skippity! I skipped it!
But what do you mean by a new method?
It means throwing away stereotypes.
Oh my, when it's so quiet, you finally open your mouth, psycho cop. Is it not a problem if the best young police officer in Japan gets slower answers than a professor?
It doesn't matter, but I guess it's all a competition for you. Let's just say it's not. There's nothing to be gained from this charade.
There's something sparkling between you two!
But what's that mean? Stereotypes? To throw him away? Did you both find out something?
I'll apologize first. When the trial happened, I was about to be overthrown by the killer because of misinterpretation of the case. But I deserved it. I was guessing to some extent, but I didn't think the case would be so twisted. It was twisted? It's natural to say you guys made it public. This case is simple. There's a criminal, and a criminal killed the victim. If you tried to solve it, there will be contradictions. I don't understand. I actually don't understand what he's getting at.
Then, wait a minute, so then this isn't a murder case?
No, it is a murder. It's clearly malevolent. But do you recall what I mentioned earlier? An ordinary murder case would be difficult to solve if you think of it as a simple step-by-step scenario. While investigating before the trial, I guessed the outline frame, but at that point, I couldn't confirm this either. However, as the trial progressed, Taira's reactions and the dying message being solved, a truth was reached. To be precise, the riddle that has been solved so far was one that was derived from a clue, but what's the truth about it? To put this simply, this crime is not a case where there's one culprit and one victim being mentioned.
Oh? So that's what I'm thinking, like, I think there's gonna be at least 2 culprits, and that's also not including the fact that Kazuna brought the items for the fire. What? Not one culprit? Not one victim? So you mean there was an accomplice?
But didn't Monokuma say that accomplices had no advantage?
No, it's a bit ambiguous to call it an accomplice. But what is certain is that a third party, other than the criminal, was clearly involved. Other than the criminal. Okay, yeah, see, that's kind of what I was feeling before, but yeah, now I'm on Akane's side.
Third party? Who was it?
You, Akane.
See, okay, that's what I was expecting, was that she's somehow involved, but she didn't do the murder, or she's somehow not the culprit.
Taira was the third party? Is that different from a culprit or accomplice? For starters, I like to see it like that. As you guys said, if you're a criminal, you have to install a wire trap, but Taira herself couldn't afford it, because of Yamaguchi. He also saw Taira stand still during that time.
Then Akane no longer needs to be questioned, right?
No, wait a minute. I'm really sorry, but I still don't get it. If Taira isn't the culprit, then I don't know what the dying message points to the maid. And she even lied to us.
That's why I told you, Taira's a third party in this case.
What?
It's not a culprit. It's different from an accomplice. But it's obviously a third party who was heavily involved in the case. Maybe she's not even aware of it. The woman's personality is showing her heart on her face. It's proof the maid lied and wrote the dying message, lying to everyone here. Ooh. Okay, see, that's where I was thinking someone else might have written the dying message, perhaps? Or like I said, maybe she added the X. No, not the maid. Don't guess the maid ever.
It seems by your facial expressions, you don't understand it. Okay, before discussing the real criminal, let's begin with a question about it.
Try not to fucking die here. Secret note, lighter, wire trap, and the third flashlight. I don't know where we're going with this. I don't know where we're going.
Taira isn't just a suspect, she's a third party.
So, I do agree with that.
I'm not sure what that means.
Maybe the third flashlight? According to your reasoning, at first glance, Taira Akane looks like the culprit. But for Taira Akane to put the wire trap is not possible. There's a contradiction. In fact, it's okay to say that your reasoning in return is the correct answer.
A rookie mistake, someone clean up this mess.
In the first place, being a third party, doesn't that mean there's a third person besides the criminal and the victim? 3 or more people were involved in this crime? Yes. So yeah, the third flashlight. Okay, yeah. I'm glad. I'm actually really glad I got that. Yeah, he was saying, is there any proof for a third party? We've got the third flashlight, and I think that's probably what brought me to the third party result in the beginning. No, Uehara, wait. There was evidence of 3 people involved in the crime.
What would that be?
The flashlight, of course. there was one more flashlight.
What do you mean there was one more?
Hatano, that flashlight you were trying to pick up.
Oh, that's why Hatano injured her leg on the wire. That flashlight, right?
But what does it mean when you say there was one more?
I think there were some people who haven't seen it. Let me tell you, in the Switchium, there were 2 broken flashlights. By the way, Maeda. Other than those 2, the 3rd flashlight.
On the day the 2nd floor was opened, everyone saw it while investigating, right? It's a dark place where the switch doesn't light up. Without a flashlight, nothing is visible. And the fact that Tamori died there would have been something to do with the Switchium, and in that case, she must have brought a flashlight. So, one of the 3 flashlights would have to be the one Tamori brought. And if you don't see anything, murder is not possible. It means the culprit killed Tamori inside the Switchium, and the culprit also took a flashlight. So the 2nd flashlight was brought by the killer. So we know that both of those were broken, possibly by the fire, and the 3rd one wasn't broken, but it was like smoking. I don't really understand that one yet.
Huh? Hey, wait a minute! But who's the owner of the 3rd flashlight?
That's right, Maeda explained it very well. The Switchium is a not known place, and there's nothing visible, so naturally, you expect to carry a flashlight in order to go there. Even if I went, I would need my flashlight back once I'm done with business. There's no reason to leave it behind. Wasn't this the aftermath of a struggle between the criminal and Tamori? One moment. Isn't that just by reasoning alone? Unless there's a 0% chance that someone forgot it and left it in the past, it wouldn't be clear.
No, Uehara, there's evidence that all 3 flashlights are involved in the incident. Maybe that's the smoke? As Kijo said, 2 flashlights were broken, and the other, the last one, it was burnt.
Correct! It's a flashlight before it got caught in the fire! That's the flashlight that was on the scene!
Now you realize? Is there a fool here who still doesn't understand? According to your interference, the fact that the case involved 3 people was the adequate basis of the case.
I had no idea. I had no idea I was involved at all in any way.
You might not have known. Probably the killer tried to use Taira.
Really? What does that mean?
We've come this far, so I wonder if it's okay to reveal it. I called Taira a third party, but this doesn't mean that you simply witnessed or even helped to kill her.
What is it then?
How Taira was involved in this incident. By the time, everyone might have noticed. Not the culprit, but the executioner. Ooh, girl, what you mean? So someone else was the culprit that attempted murder, but then Taira finished her off? Is it appropriate to call them like this?
What?
I don't actually know. What's an execution? What's an executor? No way that fits Taira stabbing Tamori. I guess she didn't even do it? That's right. There was a criminal who killed her breath with a critical hit, but it was probably Taira who made Tamori moribund?
What?
That's a lie! Taira did!
Kinjo, wait a minute!
Hey, don't you know what I'm talking about? Taira Akane, you're also a criminal who committed attempted murder, you bloody bitch. Woo! Woo! We're getting sassy!
What?
wait a second. What is this suddenly? Hey, is Taira the executioner?
What's wrong, Kabashikawa? You said you couldn't admit that Taira wasn't the culprit.
No, rather than being able to admit it, but why did Taira?
Yeah, I don't know what it means that there's another criminal who inflicted a critical hit, even though she was the executioner in the first place. And I can't believe that Akane did this. If you dishonor Akane without a compelling reason, I cannot forgive you.
That's right. Taira would never do something like that.
I don't think we can necessarily trust her like that. It's starting again. Didn't people say that they can't know just by looking at them? All you think Taira Akane is not one to do that. After all, you just don't know enough about her.
But, Che, why don't you tell me? Why don't you tell me why would Taira stab Tamori to the verge of death?
How did that happen? You've already let that go, didn't you? We let her go? You don't mean...
Yes, the evidence that Taira Akane personally injured Tamori Kazuna is exactly what you suspect. A dying message pointing to the maid, Taira Akane's suspicious lie. But why wasn't she the culprit of the direct murder? That was also solved by you. Simple, isn't it? That woman didn't have time to install the wire. Okay, so I think this is fitting my earlier theory that Akane did the well, okay, it's kind of the opposite. So I was thinking that Taira did the tummy stab and then someone else finished her off, but now we're saying that someone, or now they're saying it was the other way around, that like the culprit in this case stabbed Tamori first and then Taira finished her off. I mean, that's what the executioner would be, right? But then they're also saying she committed attempted murder, so I don't know which way we're going with this.
What? Everyone, looks like you can't understand. Sorry, but besides this, there is evidence that Taira Akane committed a murder attempt.
Well, is there any other evidence?
No, Kinjo's right. There's evidence I can only think of. Maeda, even you? Why? I'd love to think that, but as Kinjo says, it's all true. I knew it too. If you look at the scene of the incident, there were traces of others who couldn't exist. That trace was probably left by Taira. According to the images in my memory, there's one definitive clue. So that's where I'm thinking it might be. Oh, spot selection. I'm thinking it might be the bloodstains by the door? Images or photos in your memory will appear. Look for the places that contain the answer to the topic. That's it. I just point and hit enter. Okay. Good luck, have fun. And make sure that you hit the box. Is it gonna choose the suspicious place? Okay. So I'm thinking there are two suspicious places. There's this bloody cloth here. And then there's also the blood traces by the door. Now, I think we've established that the killer did not go out the window, that was just a diversion. Okay, yeah, the blood marks at the entrance. Remember what we discussed earlier about why the killer started the fire?
The fire was used to heat the glass window and break it remotely, and to make us think the killer was inside the switchium and smash the glass to escape, right?
Yeah, and in fact, we almost got caught in that trap and confused our reasoning.
Now we were talking about why Taira was involved in the case.
Think carefully. If the killer's purpose was to make us think they broke the glass, why is there a blood spot at the entrance?
Blood stain at the entrance!
Is that so? A bloodstain like walking out of the switchium. That's evidence from a third party that's different from the criminal's intentions. Was that from a struggle? Maybe it's just Tamori's blood? If Tamori went out of the switchium while bleeding, the power room outside should have been filled with blood spots. Don't you think so? Does that mean the blood spot was after coming out of the switchium? Because it was dark then? I guess so, yeah? There were 2 broken flashlights inside the switchium. If it were broken during a struggle, you wouldn't know that blood would splatter in the dark after you stabbed Tamori. Well then, the blood traces come from Akane?
Wait a minute. After the killer attacked Tamori, they could have set off the fire after, walking out towards the entrance, without knowing the blood was on it, right? In this way, there's no room for Taira to intervene.
Inori, I'm sorry, but that's also impossible. The one who killed Tamori by killing her definitively probably didn't splash a drop of blood on their body. Oh, and we know, okay, that's where the thing comes in place, is that so the thing, the bloody cloth. The killer used it to cover themselves so they wouldn't get blood on themselves and wouldn't leave blood behind, like, as they left. So this means that the blood by the entrance must have come from a third party. Okay, I think we're good. Tool was the bloody cloth. Yes? Yes. Yes. Actually, there was a piece of cloth covered in blood in the corner of the switchium.
Ugh, bloody!
This is... Right. Anyone planning a murder must be concerned about the bleeding. Probably they used it on Tamori, without a drop of blood on getting on your own body. If the real culprit uses it and murders Tamori, is there no reason for a blood smear at the entrance?
What? Then she really... Are you saying Akane stabbed Tamori?
I can't believe it. Why would Taira do that? Taira, no matter what you did in the end, there is a separate real criminal who directly killed Tamori other than you. You're not treated as a real criminal in this trial. If you admit to the crime, you won't be executed. So, okay, so I think she does think that she did it. No, because then she didn't do the knife stab, maybe? I don't know. The next stab, I mean. So tell me, with your own mouth, did you really do it? And why?
I'm sorry.
Sorry? Are you sorry? Then it's really true.
You guys are right. I'm the one. I stabbed Kazuna-chan.
What? I'm not particularly sympathetic, but I am curious. Why did you do that?
Kazuna-chan. No, Tamori Kazuna. Because she was a human being who had no choice but to die. What are you talking about? It was Taira herself that most defended Tamori, didn't you? I'm sorry. It's just in case I was found out. I just made an excuse and got scared.
That must have been it. Actually, you seem to believe that you were the real culprit.
But I want you to believe in this. I never decided to kill and stab Kazuna-chan. Only to stab, only to maim or harm, never to kill.
What does that mean? You didn't stab with murder intention, but after that remark, you seemed to despise Tamori.
Well, I'll tell you what happened.
let me give you an explanation. I'm not sure about Mikaru and Uehara know this, but the day after the motives came out, we all went to persuade Kazuna-chan. Actually, Kazuna-chan was also lonely, and she tried to convince herself because she knew it deep down. I finally opened my heart to Kazuna-chan, and we hugged, and I finally thought we became friends, truly. But that evening, Kazuna-chan had something to talk about, so she called me to the switchium. I took a flashlight and went there. Kazuna-chan, are you here? Right here, Taira. Kazuna-chan, I know you wanted to talk about something, but why in such a dark place? Yeah, no one's coming here, right? No, I don't think so. So, what do you want to talk about? Yeah, that's right. I'm too scared now. What? Scared? Why? You know the motives given by Monokuma, remember? Our secrets are written in there. It seems like you all throw it away, but I got no clue whose I stumbled upon in the trash. Ooh. Someone's secret. Do you want to see? First, look at the contents. Oh? What is this? Ooh, we know it's Maeda's secret. So, Kazuna found Maeda's secret in the trash. Girl, why were you in the trash? Ooh! Yuki Maeda may actually know the identity of the mastermind? Woo!
What?
Yo, that's wild. I was not expect. See, this is what I'm saying. It only takes like one or two like really sus secrets to set all of this in motion. Maeda, is that true? No, I'm just a normal student. You're not lying, right? You're not actually playing with us while you knew about them, do you?
Stop it! Now it's not the time to reproach each other.
Yeah, the message is surprising, but it is urgent we hear Taira's testimony. Taira, resume at once.
Okay. I can't trust Yukon as long as I see that. It's not just that. Knowing the mastermind, they might play with us and try to kill us later.
No, Maeda wouldn't do that.
False. You don't know people just by looking at them. Mitsuhiro-kun did the same, remember?
Oh, then what do you want to do? Even if you tell the others.
No, that's not the case.
What? Then
we can kill him with our hands.
What?
The reason I called you is actually this. Aren't you close to Yukon? Wouldn't you be able to take him out? Not like on a date, but like out.
You know what you're talking about?
Listen, I have a good idea. If you can only help me, otherwise, how can I kill Yukon? Without being noticed by someone. First of all, I brought the preparations. The fuse, lighter, and finally, this is a knife. This is a knife. Once you pick up Yukon and call him somewhere, I'll stab him with the knife.
I'm not talking about that. I asked if you were serious. If you kill, you'll die in the trial.
That's when the killer is stupidly caught. Did you forget that the only way to get out from here is to murder someone? So first, help me. If my murder is successful, I'll help you. What do you think? Let's get out together.
Are you crazy? Why would I want to murder?
What? Don't you want to get out of here?
I want to go out, but
Doing that at the expense of another's life? That's it then? I'm the only one who wants to go outside more than anyone else here? I'm not a human being who will rot in this place. Why should I? A bright future awaits me. I'm the lucky girl once I get out of this place. Actually, I got everything ready after those 2 days from the previous class trial. I also brought these tools early today. I'm gonna kill this fucking traitor. Wouldn't it be less guilty to kill a bad guy, right? You better think and join me here.
What are you saying? Being prepared for a murder since the second day? Then you didn't open up to us.
Oh my god, this stupid bitch. Of course I was acting. Duh. Do you think I'm gonna go and fall for that crappy event?
I can't.
Alright, so you just do what I tell you to do. Know that you were lucky that I chose you. Please bring Yuki-kun here by tomorrow morning. Otherwise, I'll kill you instead, I bet. I don't know. I don't fucking know.
No, I hate it. Why would I help a murderer? And I can't believe that Maeda-kun is such an evil person. That's obviously Monokuma's lie. Anyway, I'm not gonna help you. Kazuna-chan, please, wake up. Don't do this. If you are with us, I'm sure we can find a way.
Oh, okay. You...
What?
Well, I didn't expect you to cooperate from the start with the murder, because you didn't. I have to change the target as planned.
What are you?
Stab. Stabby, stab, stab. Woo! Okay, we got our new screenshot.
Hey, Kazuna-chan!
You dodged it.
Why are you doing this? Kazuna-chan!
Why are you asking? I'm trying to kill you. Duh. Stab, 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 stab.
Kazuna-chan!
You already knew I was gonna kill, remember? I can't keep you alive after I spilled all my plans to you. It's a pity that you can't kill Yuki Maeda, but it doesn't matter if you can't get out of here.
Ah! Someone save me!
Is that true? Tamori tried to kill Akane first?
Even so, before the motives came out, she just made up her mind to kill someone. And all the appearances she showed us were an act.
Yeah, Tamori Kazuna was that kind of person.
So, you felt in danger for your own life and attacked her instead, is that right, Akane?
No, that's not right. Listen, I didn't really intend to stab Tamori in self-defense or anything of the sort. Then why did you?
Tamori ran to kill you. What happened after that?
I noticed that Kazuna-chan was serious, and I was too scared. I tried to run for it. Then I was pushed down by Kazuna and fell over. I tried to resist somehow, and the flashlights we were holding broke each other.
That was when the two broken flashlights were broken in the switchium.
I couldn't see anything because of the flashlight being broken, and I was right next to Kazuna-chan with the knife. I got really scared. I tried to resist with my whole body. Honestly, I think it was pure luck I didn't get hit by the knife. But by the way, suddenly Kazuna-chan at one point became really quiet. That's when I took my chance to get out of the switchium.
You got out?
Yes, and that's how we got the blood stains by the entrance. Okay. Okay, you stabbed Tamori Kazuna while resisting without knowing it?
When I looked at my hands in a bright place, I saw a lot of blood. There was a lot of red on my clothes. I got in a panic. I didn't look behind me. I got out of the power room and ran to the bathroom to clean up the blood.
So that's what happened. Okay, see, I thought her, like, going to the bathroom and cleaning up was suspicious. Okay, it's all coming together. It's all coming together now.
I was wiping it with water until the smell of blood was washed away. But then the announcement came out. I thought Kazuna-chan was the one who I stabbed was found, so my vision went white. After that, when I went to the power room, there was a fire for some reason, and the switchium was all messed up.
Other than yourself, there was someone else who touched the scene of the crime. Did you think it was you who killed her?
That's not it. What happened was...
That's how the events are connected.
This is all I know about the case.
Okay, so the body discovery announcement went off. She then thought she was the one who killed Kazuna. I'm sure once she then saw the body, like during the investigation, she'd be like, oh no, something else happened here. But I guess was probably still worried about just being implicated in the scene of the crime at all.
I never meant to stab Kazuna-chan with evil intentions.
Whatever the reason, good or bad. Once you look at the results, they are Taira Akane stabbed Tomori Kazuna. This is a fact. You cannot change its meaning for whatever reason you might say.
But you said I wasn't the culprit.
Yes, you just stabbed her, like I said. There's another killer who caused the fire and the final blow. If the trial settles safely, it'll be the real criminal, not you, who's going to be executed. So, your sins will be laid aside after the trial's over, I guess. I don't know. I don't fucking like it. Don't think you'll just go over it.
Now wait a second. It was still an accident, wasn't it? Like self-defense, like something like that. Besides, if Tomori hadn't been stabbed, Taira would have died.
That's right. Don't be too forceful with him. Taira herself is more distressed than anyone else. I'm sorry.
Hey, second to the fact that it was a crime or forced assault, the trial isn't over yet, right? Now that we know the case, we need to find the true culprit. So let's not get excited just yet, children. Fine, let's talk about this later. The trial is the most important thing right now. Yeah, we gotta move past the initial stab, the little stab.
Akane, don't blame yourself too much. Because in the end, you survived. For the most part, I think it's the best outcome that Akane lived. Isn't it important to be alive? Ayame-chan. Thank you.
Now then, let's organize the case based on Taira's words. Tomori tried to plan a killing a few days ago, and she called Taira to the Switchium to plan her crime with them, then tried to kill Taira in the process. But her plan failed, and she died! This is the whole story of the case!
Hey, you stay still. There's a bit of mental ferocity in there. You're scaring me a little bit. I wet my pants.
Now then, let's do a little summary. First, the number of people involved in this case are 3. One is the victim, Kazuna Tomori. The next person is a criminal who has not yet been identified. And the last one is the third party, Taira Akane. Tomori, who wanted to leave here as soon as possible, planned a murder, before even the motives came out. Her rebellion was just an excuse for Tomori, and for the first time, she attempted to make Taira join forces in this crime. If Tomori worked with someone, it would have been easy for her to escape, but Taira refused, as expected. She then tried to get rid of Taira, the one who heard her plan, and leave no traces behind.
However, the attack missed, and in return there was an accident where the knife ended up stabbing Tomori while tangled up in the dark.
Taira was surprised that she stabbed her, and then she ran to the bathroom.
But when she heard the announcement that the body was found, she went back to the power room, and there were things like the fire that she hadn't even done. So Akane must have been confused at that time.
So then, in the end, the killer made use of Taira's talent and put the blame on her in order to make us vote for her.
Yeah, there were 3 people involved, so the case was so complicated as it is. By the way, no matter what happened this far, this would mean that she's not the culprit of the case, right? Like, we can definitely rule that out by now. But then, who's the real culprit?
Bruh, that's what we're talking about. The true culprit. The true culprit's identity.
Yaranami, what is it? Did you figure out something? No, it's just amazing that Kurika was just very active in participating in the conversation.
Are you serious?
That makes me want to stay quiet even more. I don't like being pointed out.
I have to say, there are already hints about the real culprit.
What? Who is it?
Really? Who is it? In general, there is no one who does not have a noticeable alibi other than Taira. In other words, it's possible for anyone to commit the crime. However, there's only one of us who has led all the situations to their advantage. Yes, and very precisely, may I add. Is there someone like that? Who on earth?
Surely it's not Taira.
There's someone who has taken advantage of the circumstances of the case with too ridiculous timing that it could be simply a coincidence at first glance. Think about it. The fire was not caused by Taira. Then obviously the real culprit set the fire. But don't you think there's something amiss? When you leave a fire, the corpse would need to be burned, and you wouldn't know when it could be found.
Oh shit! Bro, I pointed this out. Ayame was the one to call fire. She was the first one to notice the fire, and what else would she have been doing in that area?
But Hatano actually found it. Yeah. Yes, Hatano found it. Well, if that's the case, the wire matters too. Even if you install a wire trap as bait for a burnt flashlight in the corner, there's still a possibility no one will find it. It could just end up there, right? But it didn't because... Huh?
Oh, I just realized. So the 2 broken flashlights were Taira's and Tamori's, which means the 3rd flashlight was the killer's. They, probably tossed it behind their back while everyone was, checking out the body for the first time. And then I guess also installed the wire trap. Ooh, did she injure herself on purpose? That seems a little far, right?
But it didn't because... Huh? Isn't something a little weird? What does the sighting between the fire and the wire have in common? If you think about it, you will see the answer. The person who led all situations to their own advantage. The person who led the case so that they could solve it on their own accord. Wait, what? The person who led all situations to their own advantage. The person who led the case so that they could solve it on their own accord. The only person in doubt. They are strong enough to instigate most of the incident. The first time they noticed the fire and the wire trap. Oh, okay. They're saying the wire trap might not have been noticed if she didn't walk into it, so she set off her own trap to decoys herself as another victim. No. Why? I have to stop thinking about that. The main thing is that they did this job. Okay. If you don't find the truth, we will all die. Is it select someone? Yeah. Oh man. Oh man. Shit. I think that does bring us back to Hatano. It's like Yuki said, why? But we can't really get caught up in the motives in these kinds of cases because they almost never make any actual sense. Ooh, this was kind of like what I said, like, Taira did the first stab. She was, I thought she was like, oh, surprised. She was carrying the knife. She stabbed Kizuna, maybe dropped the knife and ran. And then someone else, to protect her from being the blackened, did a killing blow and set off the fire and all that. So she's been trying to protect Akane the whole time. I think we gotta go with Hatano. So yeah, it looks like Hatano was indeed the culprit that we've been pointing to. I guess now all that's left is probably fighting her arguments and making her accept the truth. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, go ahead and give it a like. If you didn't, keep it to yourself. Just kidding, you can put it in the comments. Either way, thank you so much for being here. Subscribe. You gotta hit the subscribe button so that you can see the next one, and I want to see you in the next one. So, thanks, and